Good day, everyone. This is another episode of weekly price reviews, and in this video, I'll only be dealing on BTCUSD and XAUUSD. I also took a couple of trades, but I'll only use BTC and gold as my reference because I don't want the video to be long. So let's just head right to the chart. So let's start with gold. So from our 4 hours time frame, as you all know, last week I said gold will be bullish because gold was reacting from this 4-hour breaker block or other block, whichever one, because they're on the same levels. But fast forward to today, now gold gave us this break of structure. Let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you will spot out this break of structure here, this break of structure here, and once price gives me a break of structure on the higher time frame, be it a double break of structure or a single break of structure, I'll always see it as a high probability setup because it's a higher time frame, so probably it has high probability. So after I spotted out a break of structure, I was positive for my inducement, and the forward time frame gave us a clean inducement. But this inducement, some people still cut trades on it. Let's go down to as you can see on the 5 minutes time frame. Now, I don't know the POI. My screen is not that large, but price reacted from somewhere. After giving us the double breaker structure, this was the inducement, and price reacted from somewhere. But besides that, this was the one I myself took, but I got stopped out because I was greedy. Now, price gave us the double breaker structure. This is a break. And this is a break. Here is a break. Here is equally a break too. You can use here rather. Now price gave us this inducement here, which is our pullback after a break of structure, and price made this movement with what? The nearest POI to the inducement, unmitigated POI. So price made this move with using this breaker block here. But it was actually a missed entry. But if you actually pick the breaker block from the week, you would you wouldn't miss the trade. But as for me, I don't pick POIs from week, especially when they are long weeks. So definitely I would have missed this trade if I spotted it. Then you can target 1:10 is to the 1 ratio, your choice. So, but I didn't pay attention to this. I paid attention to the one I'm about to show you on this video. Let's work. Sorry. So on the 1 hour time frame, our inducements, our single candle inducements align with the 4-hour single candle pullback after the break of structure or the double break of structure. What is the next rule? We pick our trade from the POI closest to liquidity, unmitigated POI closest to liquidity, and the unmitigated POI over here is this breaker block. As you can see, this breaker block. So I picked my trade from this 1-hour breaker, and you can see this was my first entry. Now Let's get on to the next entry. The next entry, remember when price was coming to pick our POI, price was selling down. Price was selling down. If you go to a lower time frame, that's why you have to understand your market structure very well. Because if you understand market structure very well, you wouldn't have difficulty in all this, at least most of them. So now price was selling down, giving us series of, this is a high, this is a low, and this is a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You understand? Then price gave us this market structure shift by breaking above this previous lower low, which is this zone here. Price broke above it, giving us an MSS. If you go to the 5-minute time frame, it will be clearer. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame so I can get it clearer. So price gave us our market structure shift. As you can see, it broke above it with a candle closure. So now, with that being spotted out, before price gave us our MSS, it had a major pullback. Remember the type B setup when picking your market structure, the type B setup, that is the pullback before the break of structure market structure shifts. Now price gave us this pullback before giving us this MSS. So when price got to this low, it gave us a high, a lower high, a lower, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and gave us this pullback before giving us our MSS. Do you get it? Now this pullback will now be used as our inducement, even though price printed an inducement here. As you can see, after it gave us our market structure shift, it gave us an inducement, and guess what? The closest POI to this inducement is this OB. You can see this clear order block here, and price did what? Price swept the other block. Price disrespected it because there is liquidity below the order block, which is this pullback before the break of structure or market structure shift. Now, after identifying our liquidity, what's the next step? You look for your point of interest. Now, our point of interest is this order block here, unmitigated order block. Now you place your trade. I place my trade from there. You can place your stop loss whichever place you want, but I always put my stop loss below the candle. So that's for this second entry. Then for the third entry, sorry, my network is actually bad. So for the third entry, I actually hit a stop loss on this third entry. This one right here. Gold took me out, but as I was studying, I saw where gold was reacting from. Now, how did I spot my third entry? Let me delete all these. I wouldn't be using them. Let me delete them. Sorry. So how did I get to spot out my third entry? Now, you all can see that after we spotted this second entry right here, now gold started moving. And as you can see, what do you observe? Another double break of structure. Gold broke above. You can use this high, but I use this. Gold broke above this high and also broke above this high, giving us a double break of structure. And this was our pullback. Initially, I used this as my inducement. And I was looking for the POI nearest to liquidity. I couldn't spot any on the small time frame, so I went to my 30 minutes time frame. On the 30 minutes time frame, that was where I spotted my order block. You can see this clear and clean order block here. So that was where I spotted it out. So price came around this level and broke structure. So I thought maybe I might have a missed entry or so, but unfortunately, price was creating a structural liquidity here. Immediately I saw price retracing back, and yeah, this trade is an A+ setup. But you know, price did its thing. Now what did price do? If you watch carefully, when price tapped us in and started making its move, it came back and swept us. Now let me show you the reason why. We are still right in this trade. You understand? If you took this trade or if you find this setup, you're still right. But price is still price. You don't own the market. It decides to do whatever it wants. But the only thing we are ought to do is, after its movements, you go back, you study, you recheck, you know what you did wrong and where you should play it well next time. So you can see price reacted from this order block on the 15 minutes. Look at this order block right here now. Let me price reacted from this order block. Why? Because this is liquidity. This is liquidity. You can see this is an inducement. It's an inducement. This is an inducement, as you can see. So this inducement was created before creating this inducement. You understand? So whenever you spot an inducement that was formed before a market structure shift or break of structure, make sure you pick the POI closest to the inducement that formed, because actually automatically it has become a type B setup. I did not spot this out. I did not notice this. Do you understand? Because price will definitely react from anywhere you choose. Sometimes it might not, but most times it does, because we're right. But it will still come to clear out its duty, which it was clearing out liquidity placed on any of the market. So I didn't actually spot this. That was why I took an L on this trade. If I spotted out this pullback before my break of structure, or before my double break of structure, sorry, I wouldn't have taken this POI or the 30 minutes order block, or I might just extend my SL. But me, I would have just picked my trade from this order block here, and it's an unmitigated order block, as you can see. So that's it for gold last week. And you know, gold was a bit choppy. Some took the sells. I didn't take the sell. That was why I deleted those trades on the screen earlier. I didn't take the sell. So some took the sells and every other thing, but I didn't believe gold would sell. You understand? So it just, you know, a minor sell, not a major movement. So actually, before Friday, around Friday, we smashed TP on the two trades, Ws. So heading to BTC. Oh, sorry. Now, around last week, BTC is being choppy, and I can't trade BTC now, the higher time frame especially, because actually it's bearish. To be honest with you, BTC is bearish, but we all know how the movement is. It's not actually giving us a clear move. So this was the trade I spotted around last week. BTC was here. Around last week, BTC was here. So I guess it was here or here, but let's just forget about this. Remember, BTC was reacting from this POI I showed you on my last video. If you haven't watched it, you can do better to go watch it them. So BTC was reacting around this area, and it started making its move. Now remember, this was the market structure shift that occurred here. Let me go to 12 hours time frame so I can see it better. So BTC was selling. You can see it was giving us a series of high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then this high with a sweep. This was a sweep that mitigated our POI there. So let's stop for now. We'll come back to this. We all know that this was our structure before this movement. Now BTC going after that structure, BTC going low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So now if you go to if you watch carefully, there was a sweep of liquidity here. You know what I marked here. When I saw that sweep of liquidity it gave me a conviction that BTC would sell this of BTC of liquidity. Plus BTC gave us an MSS here. This was the last high that broke structure to the downside. Now when price broke above it, this was the market structure shift. You understand? BTC gave us an MSS here, so I was expecting BTC to come down for the confirmation entry. That is that. But before that, BTC had already gone far. Many people wouldn't believe that BTC would have come back, but I knew that the probability of it coming back is high. So I started taking sales because this was a liquidity sweep, and this liquidity sweep also on daily time frame is there. Let me show you all. It's also there on daily time frame, I guess. You can see where I marked it. Let's go to 4 hour. So you can see the liquidity sweep here on the 4 hour, not daily, sorry. Now I started looking for sell interest because I believe that with the liquidity sweep present there, BTC would sell to continue its buy, like sell to for the buy of confirmation entry. So after the liquidity sweep, remember price were giving series of highs, low high, low high, low high, low high, low high. This was the last high that it gave. Let me draw it out. So let's start from here. This is the low, and this is the last high BTC gave, and this high gave this low. Then this was the low that swept that high. It did not break above it, it swept it. So immediately price broke below this low, I put it as my MSS. It broke below this low, it gave us our first pullback with our inducement, which is this. So immediately price broke below that low, I spotted this place as my market structure shift. Then price pulled back, gave us our inducement liquidity, and I took my trade from this POI nearest inducement, which is this breakout block right here. As you can see, this was the trade. So I started selling. I was selling down to this breakout block here that might continue the buy. Do you understand? A new price might still go below, but just to be safe, to play safe, I placed my TP be above this breakout block that might continue the buy. So that was this trade, and this trade went smoothly, though there it was choppy. There were so many ups and downs, but lastly we hit TP. So on to the next. Now on this one, let me go to 50 minutes time frame, sorry, and I see it clearly. Now I spotted this move after price broke below this breaker, I knew that price will continue selling. And when price broke below it, it pulled back to mitigate it. That's resistance on support and support and resistance, that kind of thing. It broke below this breaker, which is, it got to this level, pulled back to mitigate the breaker. So it gave me a further confirmation that price might not actually come back up. This is, it has already mitigated. I don't know, those who tell support and resistance will understand. I cannot really explain it. So I knew that price will not, go back up there. I started looking for my confluences. So I saw my double construction, which is price broke below this low and this low. After breaking below those low, it gave me my double construction and gave my pullback, which is my single inducement, which is my inducement liquidity. But in this case, this is a structural liquidity. Even the first one was a structural liquidity. As you can see, it's not actually a single candle pullback. It is actually a full candle movement or price movement. So this gave us our structural liquidity, and it gave me further confirmation that this is an A+ setup. So I took my trade from this 15 minutes order block, and the trade went well as expected. Now my TP levels were on the 2-hour time frame, where price gave us our MSS. Now remember earlier, this was so after price gave us, mitigated this, our previous POI here, previous order block here, OB here. After price mitigated it, remember, it gave us this our market structure shift here. Let me label it. It gave us our MSS. Now before the MSS, it gave us a pullback, giving us a type B setup. So I didn't pay attention to this pullback after the market structure shifts, because if I paid attention to it, I would have taken my point of interest from this OB or this breaker block, because they are all aligned. But I did not pay attention to it because there was a pullback that indicated that there is liquidity below this MSS. So this pullback became my inducement liquidity, making this a type B setup. So I wanted to play safe. I didn't want to, rush markets. I didn't want to, use an aggressive entry. So I actually waited. When price came to my POI, my 2-hour POI, when it mitigated it, I started looking for buys. That's confirmation interest. So this was how I, analyzed this BTC sells and buys. So always look out for pullbacks before your breakout structure or market structure shift, so you can know when and how to place your entries. Now after price mitigated the 2-hour time frame, I started looking for buys on the 5 minutes time frame, but I didn't take anyone because I was busy. I was not around, so I wasn't able to place any trade on those. But I spotted them out, but I wasn't able to place any trade. Now going to 5 minutes time frame, price was selling. This is how I analyze my chart. I always want to read the structure first before doing anything. Price was selling. As you can see, price was selling, sold, gave us this lower high, and this was the last low. This was the last high that broke structure. So when price broke above, mitigated this our point of interest, and broke above this last lower high that caused a break of structure to the downside, when price broke above it, I denoted our market structure shift, and price gave us this pullback. Mind you, there is an order block here, but this order block was already mitigated. It was already mitigated, so I didn't pay attention to it. Said, okay, price have already used this order block to continue his move, so we'll look for other entries as size this order block. So now that leads us to this. When price gave us this low, it gave us this high, and gave us this pullback. You can see this mini pullback here, as our inducement and gave us that book structure. It can be from this time frame. It is a single candle inducement, but from the lower time frame is a structural liquidity. Our price came, then we used our order block for the continuation. Let me show you the trade from the 3 minutes time frame. I don't want the video to be long. I will be ending the video soon. As you can see, now price gave us our double break of structure here. This was a break of structure, and this is also a break of structure, and this is our liquidity, our enabling liquidity. So you can see this was the pullback before our break of structure, or market structure shift rather, because price was actually selling from this zone. Price was selling and selling and selling, so you can still call it a market structure shift or don't break of structure. So we beat our trade from this order block here because it's unmitigated. So that was the first entry I spotted out, but I didn't spot out others. But when I was studying, I saw it. This one was a missed entry. As you can see, price gave us our double break of structure, which is price broke above this high, broke above this high, and while breaking above this high, it gave us our inducement and inducement liquidity, and the nearest POI is this breaker block, but price missed it. Move fast forward to this one too. Price broke above these two tops, which is giving us a double break of structure, and it gave us a clean single candle inducement. As you can see, after price broke above those high, it gave us this clean pullback as a single candle inducement, and we'll pick our trade from the liquidity, from the POI close to liquidity, which is what? This breaker block. Let me show you. This is the breaker block. So you go to the 5 minute time frame, I think it's smaller. So this is the breaker block. Now fast forward to this one I took. So I have so many trades going on here. I only analyzed the one I took. So this is the trade I took yesterday, the last trade for the week. Now I spotted out this in the 30 minutes time frame. I made a mistake on this trade, but I'll go for the mistake within the week. Price gave us this break of structure. As you can see, this is a break of structure, this is a break of structure to the upside. Gave us the double break of structure and gave us our structural liquidity, which is this pullback. And I picked my point of interest from this breaker block closest to liquidity that is unmitigated. But the truth of the matter is this breaker block is already mitigated, but I didn't know, because as my SL was big enough to cover it up. And let me show you. After price broke above these two high, this high and this high, there was a pullback. So this pullback here should have been my inducement rather. Then I'll pick my point of interest from this breaker block unmitigated. Now look at our pullback. This is our pullback here. So the unmitigated breaker block is where? The unmitigated breaker block is which one? This is our unmitigated breaker block. This is our point of interest. This. You just have to know how to spot all these things. This have been the trade. But thank God that my 30 minutes POI candle was big enough to cover all these things. So that was the trade for the week, or last week I guess rather. So I will also give a breakdown on this particular sell and how I expected price to sell from this zone. You understand? So thank you for listening. I would have gone deeper, but I don't want the video to be too long. Within the week I'll create more videos. I'll create more trade recaps and trade breakdowns, but at least maybe a few. So this is how I spot my entries and this is how I take my trades. Just keep on practicing and you get used to it. Thank you and God bless. See you on the next one. Chat.